give it a few minutes, get some people to jump on this channel, and then I'll start. What I'm going to do is do another quick review, high level, why we got resistance at the current level, what's likely to play out. Do we see a reversal in the making, or do we see a bounce and then further downs? And I'll give you my spin on Ethereum at a link and the pairing. So which one's going to be good? Obviously, there's so many coins, so I'm just going to keep it short and give my opinion. So far, so good. I've been getting it right with this reversal, and anyway, give it a few minutes, and then I'll start. You can see where the main resistance will be. I wonder if people can hear me. Okay, let's start. Let me just see if I've got the Facebook, sorry, YouTube going as well. So just going to make sure I'll put the YouTube link in there for people that want to look at YouTube rather than TradingView. So here's a link. The quality is there. Okay, cool. I'll just put in the chat line. YouTube. And the profile, so for YouTube. Okay, cool. All done. All right. Thanks for joining. And for those who aren't online and will replay back later, if you've got any questions, just post them. So looking at the big picture, we know that this is the golden ratio finding a strong resistance on the 1.618, and that was derived from the swing high to the swing low being reference of 0 and 1, and therefore the golden ratio is the main reason why we find resistance, and leave it at that. Now you can see also that we all came down to the 1.272 extension over here, and we found support, and now we're on this one 1.414 as a resistance. So that looks like a strong resistance because it's got a confluence here. Prior, when we had a nice big pull uptrend, we found this to be, this extension was to be a strong resistance, and then we got the pullback, and that I suppose descending wedge or triangle, and then we found the move up. So this was a point of significance, and it's still a current point of significance, as you can see. So that's why we're there. Now, are we going to break through that straight away? Probably not, because it can, and is it going to do it straight away? That's the question. For those that haven't bought in and are contemplating to buy in, you will need to. I would wait for the pullback, or maybe even lay in. So buy a little bit here in this area because it could be a bull flag just underneath resistance. This level can act as resistance. So well, it is resistance at the end of the day, and you can probably see potentially a bit of consolidation. So what I want to do is just give me a sec, and I'll get the pen out if I could do that. Where is it? It's this one. Cool. So I get the pen. So this area could be a bull flag. So you got something like this. You can also have a bit of a pullback to a level like that, and then pull up. So two options there, really. I've got a bit of money left, and I'm looking at what alts to put it in. So I'm going long, and if Bitcoin pulls back, the alts will pull back, obviously, and that'll be another good entrance. And I've already picked some of my alts that I want to go into, and that, so therefore I'm looking for that pullback. Otherwise, I'm just going to use my Bitcoin. Um, so that's what I'm thinking at the moment. So let's look at this. Right. So that's on the daily. Let's look what the indicators say on the daily. So you can see how I use this wave trend on the daily, and that pretty much gives us a good confirmation that this is bullish. We've broken that level. This candle was the one that did it. And on the Phoenix, you can see that we passed the 50% level as well. And so all three indicators here have gone up above the 50% on the daily. So that is bullish. And this wave trend is bullish as well on the daily. So it's going to be not likely to be a big pullback to throw back to test that trend. I think it's going to be a light one, and then just keep going. What people have concern, and I don't blame them, but I still want to be bullish for that sake. If you look at this, what do you call def cross. So you got these buggers coming in, and what's happening is that we're going to run into it. While this is potentially, when is that? That's probably 3 days later. We could probably run into that def cross, and a lot of people short that. It's also the 0.5 Fibonacci level. From this level to there, we've got the fibs, the 1 and the 0. So that is a 0.5 level with the def cross. It's also got confluence with this trend line. You can see many touches, and so this is coming along with the, so that'll be a big strong resistance. So I think it will come down, and the question is how low would it come back down to this level here, and then move up, or would it go further down? That's going to be interesting, because this is about 43K, and it's a level of significance because over here as well, and over there. So this is going to be a real test. Yeah, sure, we passed this broadening wedge, and the broadening wedge target can be pretty high. So let's have a look at that. So we've got a few targets from the broadening wedge. One is from there to there to the breakout, and it's hit it, and that's pretty much the target area. The other broadening wedge target is pretty much from B all the way down to C and to the breakout. So the 0.382 is the other one, which is pretty much around there. So there's a few targets that is possible to play out, and we don't know which one's going to be. But at the moment, it's bullish. But this def cross, a lot of people pay attention to, and it's likely to be a level of resistance right here on the 0.5. So I would sell there and take a percentage of profit, wait for the pullback, and potentially buy cheaper, and then hopefully it might just go sideways for a while, something like that, where this level acts resistance, and then the upside or the downside, either way. But yeah, so I just see this level as the major resistance at the moment, and that value currently is, or is that current value there? 43K. Okay, roughly 43K at the moment. So that's what I have. If I look at the 4-hour now, just a look. The 4-hour, so we had that green strong candle. This is still holding. So it's looked like too early to say, because we need to look here for the wave trend to cross over and then drop down. So if there is a crossover, this is already hit itself. So we can see that that's dropping. This might just, yeah, I think it's going to pull back, and it might do the retest on this slope, and then up it goes to the target zone. So it's very difficult to say at the moment. But if you're contemplating to buying in, I would wait for the pullback, because this was a good move. We had A, B, C, and then a little correction, A, B, C, whatever it is, a small one, and then the next phase. That could be possible. So the 4-hour is looking a bit weak, and the RSI, let's see the RSI, what does the RSI tell us? Let's get rid of that. So the RSI is overextended. It's pretty high, and you can, if you really can see it, you can see that this potentially could be, it can potentially be a wedge as well. So that's A, B, C, D. Yeah, it could go just slightly higher and pull back. So yeah, the RSI proves that you might go a bit lower, bit of a pullback, and then still looking bullish on the upside. So that's Bitcoin at the moment in the short term as well as the big term. Let's look at the weekly. For the weekly, it's good signs. So but we're not there yet. So if you look at these indicators, so let's look at the RSI. The RSI is looking, yeah, so let's see, right here, we've got that trend, that line there. Whoops, I shouldn't have done that. Let's just go to the wave trend. Where is it? There. Actually, MACD will be nice as well. So you can see the MACD is pulling up the histogram with the bullish candles. The wave trend is not there yet. So what I'd like to see on the weekly is the wave trend crossover. So the weekly is, we see this area, the green crossing the red, but the week's not over. So we need to see the week close. If the week closes like this, that's the beginning of a reversal. So the weekly hasn't got there yet. We don't have this orange above 50%, but we do have so far that the green RSI is crossing the red. And usually when that happens, there's a type of a bullish move. Whenever it does that, the charts go up. So every case, but usually what's followed is having this orange energy level above 50%, and that's what's missing. So the weekly looks like it's going good, and if we look on the 5-day, the 5-day is much better. So the longer we look, the long term, it's getting there, but it's not right there. Here we don't have it either. Here it hasn't quite crossed over on the 5-day, the wave trend, but this has. So this will be a confirmation with the second. And if we look at the MACD is also turning around as well. On the 2-day, you can see on the 2-day, the red RSI is about to cross over, and we've got another another day for that to close. So, but you can see the wave trend is bottomed out. It's turned, and it looks, so the 2-day is a good sign. And you can see, so this does look like a bottom formation, and the weekly will give us that clue. If the weekly crosses over and goes above 50%, if this crosses over and goes above 50%, I need to see the green above 50% as well as the orange. Then this is likely to continue up. Well, at least up to that point anyway, to the prior resistance. And this is going to be a definitely strong resistance, and therefore a pull down. And I would imagine will take a while for this area to break through. this is a very strong resistance because it's the golden ratio as well. So coming forward, we're not going to just go breaking through it. There's going to be potentially a long dragged out process there. So that's my weekly perspective. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum is pretty much the same as Bitcoin, I suppose. Give me a sec. Let me just clear that chart. You can see here on the weekly, Ethereum is turning up. It's not as bad as Bitcoin. Excuse me. What I do see though on the weekly, this is headed down south. This is headed down south, but we can see that this is coming up. So this could be actually Ethereum could be pretty bullish. And you look on that chart. Uh, let's see what it says. There you go. So this was the main resistance here. So if that's my 1 and that's my 0 for Ethereum, you can see the 414 is the resistance, and now this will be acting the main resistance here. If we do a retrace from there, just got to reverse that. So currently that's 0.5, which is about, I don't know, 2800. 2800 is probably the major resistance for Ethereum to come in. Ethereum looks much more bullish, as you can see, and this, I would imagine that it will be here for a while before we can break up to the upside or the downside, either way. The alts aren't doing as well, and we'll look at that. So let's look at Ethereum on the 4 hour. I shouldn't have done that. Just want to get rid of the drawings. Here we go. So don't need SMA. What we want to do is introduce the 10 and 20 moving average. This looks like a bottom formation as well, very similar to Bitcoin. That being the main resistance. So it's almost confluent with the fib level that I had. Maybe if I tweak the fib level a bit, let's have a look. Why is it so far on the left? Okay. I don't want it that like that. So this wick is pretty much the one that doesn't give us that level. So if I was to bring that down all the way here for that impulse, okay, that impulse, yeah, so the 0.382. So we probably can bring this down a bit and just use that part there. That makes sense, because these wicks aren't really, so that is the 0.382 level that was acting resistance. So that's definitely going to be the 2800 to 2900 range. And the formation, we've broken out that formation, and this looks like similar to Bitcoin's old price. So break out of that. So if that was pretty much a target. That was first target. So we've reached that based on this wedge. That's the first target that we've hit. The second target will be roughly here. So that's where Ethereum is headed towards, which is about 2800, and then see what happens from then onwards. It's possible that we have this triangle formation as well. That being A, B, C, D, and potentially E. So it's going to looks like could take a while for it to break that level with the alts while Bitcoin goes up higher. Let's look at the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing. Okay, so I've gone over this before. I see that formation. I do see this level of Ethereum as a buy zone. So if Ethereum comes down here, we have downward pressure, I believe. So you can see here, if we do on the daily or higher time frames, we have everything itself. Put on the daily for the time being. You can see that the wave trend is still headed south. Although it might turn around, it's still headed south. This is headed south. So Ethereum against Bitcoin, it's losing. It has lost ground, and it might find support here in this grey area, and that will be our accumulation area. So, and then if this was a reversal, second point, we could potentially make a triangle there. That being the bottom support level, we have that candle. We've got this prior resistance, and if price was to come here, find support, and then up it goes. So, and obviously, definitely that'll be resistance, last resistance, and who knows, something like that. How high can it go? Well, there's a few targets. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. But at the moment, I do see this trend line and this level of prior support being our entrance for Ethereum. So you might just go find that 10 and 20 moving average and just drop down again and probably give us that triangle for that breakup to the upside. So I'll see that happening with Ethereum pairing. So my goal is to just go through these coins quickly. Let's look at ADA is not as good, but I noticed that. So on the daily, it's actually turning up a bit. So that did pretty quick move there. So it's moving up pretty quickly on the daily. And you can see on the chart, I've got a 10-20 moving average. It's just sideways, really. And we can see a lot of support there, a few wicks buying the dip. And this is pretty much the resistance level. So I dare say that ADA's going to go sideways for a while and then break out. At the moment, it doesn't look that strong compared to the others. And on the daily, it's crossing over here. It might just find the bottom. That might be the bottom effect, but it doesn't look strong on the daily. And having said that, on Bitcoin pairing, it's even worse. So it's definitely slowing down. So I think this, similar to Ethereum, this area is area of interest to buy, and I do envision a formation of some macro reversal formation. What kind of formation? I'm thinking a wedge at this point, because nothing else makes sense. So I do think area of demand. So this will be the area of demand against Bitcoin. So ADA's got a bit more to do. We've got the crossover there, and yeah, so it might even come down lower. Who knows? But I do see this area as demand, and the stop limit will be somewhere around there. Keep an eye on this. I'm going to hold back. I want to see this get closer. I want to see these start crossing over, the green crossing the red, before I'm interested on the daily. Meanwhile, I'll just hold on to Bitcoin for the time being. And let's look at Link, last one. Link's, like you can see, Link, it's moving, and that trend line. So that's a strong resistance, confluent there. So that could be a strong resistance there, right? And what do we have here? We have a bit of a potential strong support there. It's touching these base, so it makes sense that this area could be support. This trend line could be temporary. So yeah, I see this area still area of interest. I don't see Ethereum link going up so much at this point. It needs to break this downtrend. So this, I like to see this crossover, the link crossover the 10 and 20 moving average. So until it does that, it might come down for a squeeze, a bit more to the upside like that. And if it breaks that, then that's it. You jump in. But at the moment, you can see it's getting there. Obviously, this is a major resistance level here. You can see that. So link's looking all right. In terms of link against Bitcoin, probably a bit better short term. There's a bounce there. We've got that support line. Needs to hold. And the link's got a weird thing where it just keeps going off the support line many times. So look how many times it touched there before it went up. So would it surprise me that link keeps touching this trend line as it goes up? Probably not. It might keep doing it against the Bitcoin pairing, that is. And at this point, it's done this move. Is it, yep, like that. So it's broken out of that move. Big pullback. So there's nothing clear except probably a channel. At this point, that's the channel there. So it's going to go ranging in that area. It's very similar to this. For the time being, looking at the big picture, Bitcoin against Ethereum. There is actually, let's look at the indicators. So the indicators look good for it on the daily. This is almost crossed over, and this is already crossed over. And we've got the energy above the 50%. Green's headed towards that level. So it's got a bit more work to do, but it's looking good in that formation. So that's all I have. So I've covered Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, and Chainlink. At this point, they're all looking good. Bitcoin is the one that's coming up towards key level, and that's the one that's going to be the decider, really. Let's look at it now. So let's get rid of some of those lines. Like that. Yep. That could be an ascending wedge and potentially break down to the retest. But if you look at that, like I said, that Fibonacci level's definitely showing a bit of resistance there. And in the next, so we've got, hold on, this is the daily. Okay, so let's look at the 4 hour. Candlesticks don't tell us anything much yet. This candle, 4 hour candlestick, we've got another hour. If this stays, well, it doesn't, 4 hours not going to really tell us if it's going to move from here yet. But I will take it 4 hours at a time to look for my entrance. If it breaks this level, definitely jump in, because that looks like breaking that trend line, top trend line as well. So if you haven't gone in, if it breaks this level, jump in. And if it, but I'll be patient. I'll wait for, I don't know, for this level, this fall to come down here. This line here, it's just an imagination that I want to take that that could be a channel more so. Could be a channel that just it's going to play out. So price might just keep going like that along this channel. And as I said, if it comes up to this level, where's the golden cross? Where's the golden cross? On the daily. Yeah, there you go. So that is looking like an area of resistance there. So if it goes up in this channel, therefore there'll be a bearish divergence there for sure. And that is 43k, which is acceptable based on a lot of lines. They all play that neckline in. Yeah, so there's a few levels that we've got to break through. It's not easy. Not going to be easy trading, and hasn't been easy trading. Too many mixed signals, haven't we? So because we've got mixed signals now, even though a lot of people are bullish, this is not we're not in the clear yet. We need to break 43k, 44k, then we could go bullish. Then we have pretty much, I think, a reversal confirmed that this was the bottom. At the moment, the bottom could be tested twice. So you can see this, that's a big V shape, right? So that V shape could also have a round bottom around here. Okay, and that was a fractal. I'm thinking of a fractal here. So this, once it hits somewhere around here, this area, I think this area is going to be definitely a lot of resistance. We come back down, and we could do a bottoming effect, and then move up. And this is pretty much, if you look at that, and you look at previous bottoms, let's have a look. We have something similar here where we have, well, that's a COVID scenario, and then a move, but this one is more to mind. See how we got that V, and then the bottom. So we can have something similar to that, but on a bigger scale, bigger range. That will look like a good bottoming effect. Here, I think it was, if you look at this as a good example, why I'm going to look at this as a good example. it represents something similar to what we've just gone through. If you look at the price that dropped from there to there, that is about 50% drop, right? That drop, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of the, clean up the chart a bit, and the moving averages, a lot of stuff there. If you look at that, let me just hide a whole bunch of things here. From top to bottom is roughly 48%. That's 52%. This formation was a triangle, a different type of triangle, versus this ascending ascending one, I suppose. And then we had the breakdown, with which is could be up to 50% as well, really, if we look at from the top. So if we do from the top all the way to the bottom, that's 52% as well. So very much in line with this drop. This drop signifies a reversal. Such a big drop and capitulation is probably the same. And here we had a head and shoulders as well. So we did have the head and shoulders. So we had a few formations. What the point is, once you have that big pullback, it could be the beginning of a reversal. And I'm leaning towards that. So here, if we were to measure from the bottom to the top, let's just reverse that. he went up to the 0.382, I suppose. So from the bottom to the top, 0.382, so like, yeah, pretty much. All right. As a mean of measurements, 302 was a resistance, or 618, and you could see the bottom effect. It took a while, so he had two shots at the top, 1, 2, came back down. Third shot came back down. So we made lower highs. Sorry, higher lows. So we made higher lows, and that's what I'm going to be looking for. I think it's in the same category. So if we look over here, and if I was to get the same from the bottom to the top, we're on the 0.382 level as well. 0.5 might be the target, but I do see that potentially this could be it's not going to be that aggressive at the moment. People should be bullish, but don't think it's going to be something strong like this trend. It's going to take a while. That's my opinion. And so if it does come down, definitely buy it. And that's it. I'm just pretty much think I'm bullish at this point. And if you look at this trend line, has a lot of confluence as well. Resistance, support, resistance, support, and now we had 1 or 2 days just below it, but this trend line is likely to be support, and then up it goes as a strong move. So yeah, we might hit there for a day and then come back down. So it really depends what kind of strong move, but it could just be a wick at the end of the day, and that doesn't count. This 414 is the strong resistance. We might wick up to the top, hit the 618, and then come back down very quickly, and it's still this bottoming formation. So that's my hypothesis at the moment, and I'll leave it at that. Thanks for joining. If you hopefully you heard all I said, because I haven't got no comments. Let me look at yep, no YouTube comments and no trading view comments. So that's my thoughts for now. Hopefully you benefit. Hopefully it gives you helps you assist a strategy. And it's not going to be easy if you want to do small trades or shorts. Do not short it. Shorting is not a good. It's too risky. So let's look at the shorting and the Bitcoin dominance. I also want to do that. Bitcoin dominance. So this is the daily chart, and you can see Bitcoin dominance that's the level of resistance. So that looks like Bitcoin dominance is going to go up. It's going to range a bit, but it looks like it's Bitcoin dominance is going to go up for some time. So it explains why a lot of the alts aren't doing well. And that makes sense, really. So I'll be more interested in Bitcoin at the moment than the alts. There's only a few that might do well. So we can have a quick check on those ones. But if I look on the weekly, Bitcoin dominance is also, I've got the wave trend crossing over here, just like that there. So this is definitely a reversal. Here we head up north, energy is above, RSI is almost there on the daily. So the weekly is in favor of the Bitcoin dominance, and if you look at previous levels, you can see where we found support. So my thinking is it's going to go, it's not going to go high, maybe to that level, just double this height, and then back down. And I suppose it's similar to this, isn't it? And then maybe a double bottom, just like that. It's possible. So dominance goes up, then alts kick in, and then maybe further down like that. Let's not hypothesize. It's not going to help us, but for the time being, Bitcoin dominance is going up. That's what we need to know. So let's look at total market cap. So you can see the total market cap on the weekly is dropped, but we have a bit of a reversal coming in. So these lines are coming closer together and potentially a turnover. So there's nothing really clear at this point, only that this is going up north. So money's starting to flood back in. Could it do with this? Potentially. Because, yeah, that doesn't look good, does it? But that's not the same though. So this was, oh well, it hasn't come down this far yet, so we need to keep an eye on that. That doesn't look, if big total market cap does that like this, that's no good. At the moment, we have something similar here, right? So this is much higher. So total market cap still looks all right. Yeah, that's a bit of a concern that it's come down this much. As long as it stays above this level, it's good. If it drops below this level, then that's a bear market, pretty much there. So if I was to look at where it went below 50%, right there. So that's supposed the bear market there, right here. That is the bear market kicking in. From there, you went down, and that's, what is it? Yeah, 6 months or so. Okay, got that. What else is left? I think that's pretty much it. Yep, I think that's it. Total market cap, dominance. CME cap. Let me see that. This one here. Grayscale. No. Let me see, where's that CME cap? Actually, we need to look at the longs as well. So Bitcoin longs, looking all right. The shorts should be dropping. No, they're going up. So people are still shorting. Hasn't dropped off at all. That's weird. So as long as the shorts go up, I think people are shorting at the moment because it's going up. That's a bit weird. So at this resistance, they're shorting. It's almost peaked. So this is where it's going to go. I think I think Bitcoin's going to go up because these guys are shorting, and that's crazy. Why would you be shorting at that level? It's like high risk. You can see how that just wave trend just giving us that momentum to the upside. So it's almost back up here to all-time high. So the exchanges and the whales will look at that. Shorts are so high that they'll liquidate them. They'll push the price up and liquidate all those shorts. The longs, well, the longs are just as equal, but the longs are right. That makes sense, but the shorts don't. There's a bit of percentage of shorts going up. Once they get rid of the shorts, they'll target the longs. So it's got a bit more to go. I think the longs are pretty much hit its peak. So that, yeah, they'll probably target the. That's another perspective. And where's the CME gap? Where the hell is it? Always had it. Ah, but give me a sec, guys. There it is. Here we go. So we've got the gaps here. The CME gap there, which is about 24k. We've got this gap. So that's 46 to 48, 50k. And we just got this little gap here already, a new one. So let's look on the daily. What's going on? So we've got a little gap there. So the price could potentially just close that one off right there. Little gap there. Back to 37. Okay. That's likely to be filled. And then we've got this one here, which is likely to be filled as well, up to 48k. This one's filled, so that's been covered. Yeah, this is the main one, the 24k one. And you can't really see any. Oh, okay, there's a one here as well. All right. I don't think it will. Yeah, maybe it could be just a very big wick from there. So the CME gaps give a different perspective. How much can you rely on that? I don't know, but I definitely think these ones are valid. These ones are definitely valid. This one makes sense. So we can potentially hit our stride. If this is so this is our resistance at the moment. If we hit here, covers the gap, covers this trend line. Hold on, let's do that again. I do click it, so that trend line is going to potentially be our resistance, and it could go down further while that trend line keeps playing the game. We have that macro left shoulder head and this right shoulder that could potentially play out, and we touch this area. So this area is going to be definitely strong resistance. I'll definitely sell there, definitely short there, and I'll be looking for some formation that will tell me it's a reversal. This level is going to be very strong, and I think that was the def cross area. There you go. So that is a def cross. So we've got that trend as well, far out. So we've got that trend and the moving averages, as well as this level. So that's going to be a very strong resistance. So definitely short there, and take your profits. You'd be crazy not to. The odds are against us, and then see what happens after that. That is my thinking. I do feel like we could probably go down here. This formation, this is another macro type of formation. We might wick down for the day and then back up. Big buying area, close that gap. So definitely, this has always been my. I actually thought this was a case where this was going to break down, and then that was going to be our buying spot. A lot of traders have also talked about that area as well. Here is a likely scenario, which is the all-time high, but that's too obvious. You never know, but this area to me makes sense. 25, 28k. If we get this and then see what happens after that, I don't see us going above this neckline. This neckline, which was the head and the right shoulder, that neckline is also confluent as well. So strong resistance, and it's all the fib level as well. I'm sure that's a fib. Let's do that again. So maybe not that level from here. Yep. So if I was to reverse that, that also has confluence with that impulse, another fib level as well. So yeah, that's the area of concern, guys, and that's the area that I will definitely uh, sell my lot, most of it, if the signs are there, and potentially do a good short. I'll leave it at that, unless you guys got any questions. There's nothing much to talk about really. It's all the. Actually, let's have a look. So what I do, I tend to put my rules here, and I'll just do a scan. So I'll put my 13, and I'll look for potentially looking at what the coins are doing against this. So inch really did well. 1 inch. That's like against Bitcoin. That was a good trade. If you got that, good on you. I use this, and when I get the crossovers, that's an alert for me. But that's, yeah, you can see that's hit its resistance. So 1 inch was pretty good. I don't know why it went that way, but that's amazing. Keep an eye on that. That could keep going up. So yeah, this just looks like a bearish. Could be a reversal. But yeah, I just don't trust that. I think it could just go down furthermore, do the double bottom. This is just like a continuation pattern, isn't it? That's Ave. Let's do the autos here. Algo should be going good. Algo's got a lot of new sponsorship. Nothing. So you can look at this, and you know the alts aren't doing well, right? We dropped a lot. This is the 1 hour chart, and you can see how the alts will all drop down. So if you hold the alts, reconsider. There's only a few that. So Badger is doing all right. That's like a bit of a reversal. But if you look in general, they also lost a lot of ground. That makes sense because they gained so much. And they're going to be shedding. I think a lot of people doing is flipping back to Bitcoin. Yeah, there's a few coins that are looking to do a bottoming formation. So the only ones that I was really interested in was Link and Ethereum, really. Playing it safe. There you go. Dodge against Bitcoin looking shit. So Dodge, I'm sure there's bullish divergence coming into play. So if I was to get rid of that, yeah, a bit of bullish divergence. That's Dot. Okay, Dot's done well in the past day or so. So Dot's bounced up really nice. I missed that one. Usually Dot does crap. Ethereum, yeah, so Ethereum is not as strong response. Yeah, FTM did all right, I think. It was doing all right yesterday. Yeah, there you go. It's pulling back. So you look at it and you can see that a lot of the coins aren't doing well. KMD was doing good yesterday, and it hasn't done it. KNC, That was all right too, I thought. No, still hasn't done it. And you can look at Link. Link's done well. So that looks like a nice bounce. So Link, like you can see that level there. It's broken all these moving averages on the 1 hour, just crossed over. And you can see that Link's looking like bullish, although this is starting to head south. Oh yeah, the MACD as well is supporting it. So Link against Bitcoin looks good for now, but it looks like it just hit a resistance. Yep. I would trade this. I would look for a nice trend to see if it keeps going. And let's change that to, yeah. So the MACD looks good as well. If that was resistance. Yeah, if it comes down back here for Link on Bitcoin, looks like a good entrance spot. Having the 10 and 20 moving average going like that. Along the MACD looks good. The 1 hour looks all right. Looking for this pullback for Link against Bitcoin and then get back in. That's one trade that I'll be stalking. Matic, I think Matic was doing something similar. Yep. So Matic's found resistance, which makes sense. Top resistance. That level is the resistance, so that makes sense. But the MACD looks all right. There's no bearish divergence. I would think that, hold on, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think use this 10, 20 moving average to buy in, and then it'll break up to the upside. Yeah, there you go. Now you can look at all of them. They're just sideways, no trend. So it looks like a bottoming formation. OGN, yeah, so that went all right, yeah, yesterday. Actually, this is looking good as well. Bit of a pullback to this level. Look for a bullish candle. This actually looks all right. Just a bit more to pull back, and then look for the bullish candle, and look at indicators. That looks all right as well. OGN, sorry, against Bitcoin. Oh, Rune. A Thought Chain, I think it is. Another one that's doing well against Bitcoin. Nice trend. So yeah, there's a few coins there, mate. There's a few good coins that are starting to look like they're getting a trend to the upside. T-Fuel was, yep, T-Fuel's pulled back, leveled off. Yeah, okay. Okay, now I've got a few coins of interest. Let me have a look. Let me do load. What was it again? My TrueBit, long term. So TrueBit, yep. Looking for another entrance potentially. I do believe this one's going to go long. So this is accumulation phase, and then I do see TrueBit going up a lot. One of those projects. Anyway, Uniswap ones. The other one, what was the other one? Jeju Dodge. This one here. Okay. So now it's going sideways, potentially. Yeah, so this could go. So that went parabolic. Some people think this is going to go really high. Another parabolic move to the upside. Big miss here. So if this was one of those coins where you could have killed it. What is it? From here to the bottom, to the top. Yeah, 7,000%. That'll be a nice buy. Gotta look for those coins. These are the ones that high risk, high gains. And I'll wrap it up. Actually, one more. XY0. What was it the one? Against Bitcoin. That's what's the one. Actually, it's holding ground. It's holding its level. Yeah, that looks all right too. So it's holding its level, and then against Bitcoin, so this could go really high as well. Keep that in mind as well. XY0. All right, guys, that's it. No one's asking questions, and I'm waffling on. Covered a few things I wanted to cover. Have a good day. Talk to you soon. Cheers. Bye.